I've always been an advocate for flagship phones. To me, the premium price justifies the premium product you're going to get. Point in case, this is the Note 20 Ultra, one of the most expensive flagship phones available without going into folding or roll-on screen territory. And even the last 4 phones I've had have all been Notes, and I've always been the high-end Notes as well. My second phones, I've always been the iPhone Pro Max or Plus version, so it takes a lot to impress me when it comes to phones. These are my impressions of the Galaxy S20 FE Fan Edition. First, a quick disclaimer. This is an impressions video, not a review, because I haven't used it as a daily driver. To me, I don't like when someone reviews a product after having it for a day or two. I would have to use the phone for a week or maybe even 2 or longer before I do a review on it, so I know what it's like as a daily driver in all situations, running the apps I use and going about my daily life with the phone. You can't take a phone out of the box, try it for a few hours and then say, this is a review. This is Emma's phone, so I've handled it, I've used it, I've tried a few things on it. So this is my impressions, not a review. If you want to see more videos like this, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, it would mean a lot. My first thoughts on this does not feel cheap at all. The back is plastic, but it doesn't feel loose, it feels really tight and compact. It doesn't cave in when you push on the back, it doesn't creak. It actually feels solid. The sides are metal, which I think makes a big difference. If the sides are plastic, it would feel a lot cheaper. But having the metal rail and then that glass stick, as Samsung call it, it still feels like a premium device. And the matte touch, the soft touch plastic feels a lot better than a glossy, cheap feeling plastic would feel. And the camera module is reminiscent of the Note 20, and that does look premium as well. Granted, not quite as premium as the Note 20 does, but it isn't as premium. The cameras are different, but the cameras on here still take decent pictures. Stay tuned for another video where I'll explain more. One thing I actually find myself being jealous of the S20 FE is the flat screen. Using a Note on a daily basis and using the S Pen, yes, the curves look good and they look premium, but it doesn't add anything of value, not anymore. It used to, but now the bezels on here are pretty slim anyway. The design's good and it still looks premium. And especially when you compare to the likes of the iPhone and the Pixel, the bezels on here are super thin, so it doesn't feel any less premium by not having the curved displays. You actually get more real estate to use on the phone, and it's a shame you don't get that when you use a stylus like the S Pen. Having the S Pen and a flat screen will take this to another level. The fingerprint sensor on the S20 FE is optical, not ultrasonic, like it is on the Note 20 Ultra and the S20 Plus and S20 Ultra. So all that means is the screen lights up in order to read your fingerprint. It's a little bit slower than it is with the ultrasonic, but not so much so you're going to notice on a daily basis. I can't show it because Emma's maxed out the fingerprints, but when you do use it, it doesn't feel slow in comparison. It still lights up when you're always on display, so you can see where to put your thumb. As soon as you put your thumb on it, it lights up, a big white circle, and you're into the phone. It doesn't slow you down, so you don't need to worry about it being any slower getting on. The screen on here is typical Samsung. It's bright and it's vibrant and it looks good in all scenarios. It is 1080p, so it does max out, it doesn't go to WQHD, but it is 120 Hz all the time. So it's not dynamic, it doesn't switch between the two, which means you're always going to get a good viewing experience. Now on the S20 and the Note 20, you have to choose anyway, 1080p with 120 Hz or go for the higher resolution. And most people now will go for the higher refresh rate rather than the higher resolution. So I think this is a good balance anyway. Yes, you haven't got the option to go with high resolution, but you still have a 1080p HD display, which still beats a lot of iPhones by comparison. The notchless display on here with the pinhole camera is really good. Now, for some reason, the camera has a weird chrome circle around it, so it's not just a black dot like it is on others. But you don't really notice it. It's not like in your face chrome, it's just a little bit around the edge, and I think it matches the phone, is in the colour. But it is that faint and that hard to see that it's hard to tell whether it does. It might just be my eyes playing tricks on me. But again, look at the size of that. That is tiny. It's the same size as the Note, I think. At least to the naked eye it is. It might be millimeters smaller, but to me it is the exact same size. This is a good size in the hand as well. It doesn't feel big. I have pretty big hands, so it might feel big to someone else, but for me, that is the size I can get used to. For size comparison to the Note 20 Ultra, can see the Note 20 Ultra is just a bit bigger, but when you take away the fact it has the curved displays, there's really not much to argue about. So I tried this phone watching video, typing, playing games, and everything I can say feels good and feels premium. Now for the actual price of this, £599, which is pretty much half of the Note 20 Ultra, it doesn't feel like you're getting half the phone. So granted, you haven't got the S Pen, you don't have that extra layer of screen, you don't have the extra resolution on the screen, you have a smaller battery, you don't have the glass back, the curved sides. You do still get wireless charging, you do still get a waterproof design, you still get the pinhole, which is better than not, just don't care what anyone says. To me, this is as premium as mid-range comes. I wouldn't have gone for that colour, but you can't argue with this. If you're looking for a phone at a good budget price, without losing any main features, this is it. Now, as I said earlier, I haven't used it as a daily driver, so I haven't done a review. I may do in the future, but my impressions of this is solid, just like the back. Don't worry about the plastic back. All it means if you drop it, it's not going to shatter like a glass would. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Honestly, if you can get this in your hand and feel it, I'm pretty sure I'd be happy with it. It just feels like the iPhone texture. If you've held an iPhone 11 Pro with that matte finish on the back, this feels pretty much exactly the same as that. So it's not the cold, shiny glass you're used to, but it feels solid. I get, as cheesy as it sounds, the word glass stick, I get that now, I understand that. Thank you for watching this impressions video, and if you want to see camera samples, stay tuned, I will be sharing them very soon. Thank you for watching, please subscribe and check out the links below for more videos.